السلام عليكم ورحمة الله، وأهلا بكم في فيديو جديد من أرض الأساطير. في الثلاثين من اكتوبر من العام 2012 قامت شركه ديزني بشراء شركه لوكاس فيلم المالكه لسلسله ستار وورز من مديرها ومبدع السلسله جورج لوكاس بمبلغ قدره 4.05 مليار دولار، نصفها من أسهم شركة ديزني. وكانت رغبته من بيع الشركة هو أن تستمر السلسلة في الوجود من بعده إرضاء لمحبيها، فلقد كبر في السن ولديه ابنة حديثة الولادة يريد أن يكون معها. والآن وبعد مرور قرابة 10 أعوام من عملية البيع تلك، كيف يرى قرار هذا؟ وهل السلسلة حاليا تعبر عن رؤيته لها أم لا؟ وهذا ما سوف نعرفه من خلال تعليقاته على اتجاه السلسلة الحالي ابتداء من عام 2015 حتى عام 2020، ولن أقوم بأي تعليق عليها، فقط ترجمة وأترك الحكم لكم.
What are your hopes for the new Star Wars movies? What is a new hope for the new Star Wars movies as they clearly are headed to a new franchise?
Well, I hope it's successful. I hope they do a great job. They've, the original saga was about the father, the children, and the grandchildren. And that's not a secret to anybody. It's even in the novels and everything. And that the children were in their 20s and everything, so it wasn't Phantom Menace again. But so I'm hoping, and they've taken it in a different direction, and I'm excited to see. Since I didn't use my stories, I have no idea what they're doing. They looked at the stories and they said, we want to make something for the fans. So I said, all I want to do is tell a story of what happened. It started here and it went there, and it's all about generations, and it's about, the issues of fathers and sons and grandfathers, and it's a family soap opera. Ultimately, we call it space opera, but people don't realize it's actually a soap opera. And it's all about family problems and it's not about spaceships. So they decided they didn't want to use those stories. They decided they were going to go do their own thing, and so I decided, fine, but basically I'm not going to try to, they weren't that keen to have me involved anyway, but at the same time I said, I'm not going to, if I get in there, I'm just going to cause trouble, because they're not going to do what I want them to do. So, and I don't have the control to do that anymore, and all I would do is muck everything up. So I said, okay, I will go my way and I'll let them go their way. And it really does come down to a simple rule of life, which is when you break up with somebody, the first rule is no phone calls. The second rule, you don't go over to their house and drive by to see what they're doing. Yes. The third one is you don't show up at their coffee shop or the things where you're going to burn it. You just say, no, gone, history, I'm moving forward. Because every time you do, and we all learn this from experience, every time you do something like that, you're opening the wound again. And it just makes it harder for you. You have to put it behind you, and it's a very, very, very hard thing to do. But you have to just cut it off and say, okay, end the ball game. I got to move on. And everything in your body says, don't, you can't. And these are my kids. So
all those Star Wars films.
All the Star Wars films.
They were your kids.
Yeah, well, they are right. I loved them. I created them. I'm very intimately involved in them, and obviously to
and
sell
you
them
sold
off.
them.
I sold them to the white slavers that take these things and.
Okay, but having said all that, and having talked to you for the last, and known you for a while, and admired you, it must hurt you.
Well, no,
it's your family. It's the last story. It's your story.
But
it's
in the end,
you.
But I knew there's 3 more stories, and I knew that was going to probably take, to do it right would take about 10 years. And I said, I'm 70. I don't know whether I'll be here when I'm 80. Every 10 years the odds get less. And so I said, and I'm not ready to do that because I want to do these other things. So I have to make the decision on my own that it's time for me to move on.
The world has changed so much since the first Star Wars movie. How do you think the changes in the fights for racial justice will impact the Star Wars universe going forward?
I don't know. I've kind of lost control of Star Wars, so it's going off in a different path than what I intended. But the first 6 are very much mine and my philosophy. And I think that philosophy sort of goes beyond any particular time, because it's based on history, it's based on philosophy, it's based on a lot of things.
في نهاية الفيديو أتمنى أن يكون قد كان مفيدا لكم، وإذا كان كذلك شاركوني ورأيكم في التعليقات، ولا تنسوا الاشتراك في القناة وتفعيل جرس التنبيهات كي تصلكم الفيديوهات أولا بأول. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.